It's crazy once these guys start realizing that they don't have as much power as they thought. But it doesn't change that, they'll try to deploy the same tactics because it's worked for them in the past. It's something that they've become accustomed to. Let's take a look. So Rachel Gilmore, I don't know who this person is. An award-winning journalist. Interesting. Looks like MMA fighter is a big insecure baby who likes to punch down, talking about Sean Strickland and this quote-unquote anti-LGBTQ stuff. Now let's listen to what Rachel has to say.
Just said some of the most disgusting anti-gay, anti-trans bullshit I have ever heard. And so far, he has faced 0 consequences. Like, his big money-making event is still set to take place, still at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, and it's still in 2 days.
Okay, so let's start there, okay? A big event, right? I'm assuming that he's defending his title. If I'm wrong on that, my apologies. And immediately, and this is how these weirdos sort of operate, because it's an instinct, reflex. All right, what do you have going for you in which you depend on and you make money off of? Let's gravitate towards that, and that's what we should be highlighting. And if they feel that it shouldn't exist, then that's what they're going to come for. In a lot of just normal people's cases, when dealing with these absolute freaks, it's usually your job. And that's why they highlight that stuff, because really what it boils down to is that you say something that they don't like. They feel like it is permissible to come for your job.
Talk. It might be time to do your thing. That
was hilarious. She says, TikTok, it's time for you to do your thing. You want to talk about perpetually online.
This human thumb, Sean Strickland. Yeah, the guy in the Women Belong in the Kitchen t-shirt. So original. He is an MMA fighter. And yesterday, MMA journalist Alexander Lee asked him about disgusting comments he had made in the past about the LGBTQ community. Specifically, that time that Strickland said if he had a gay son, it would mean he failed as a man. This seems like a guy who's super secure in his masculinity. Anyways, before Lee could even finish his question, Strickland launched into a gnarly tirade. Here's a taste.
Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude. You're part of the fucking problem.
Oh, but he didn't stop there. He also went on to attack the trans community.
10 years ago, to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have fucking weaseled your way in the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. You're right. Fucking chicks have dicks. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are 2 genders.
His comments were then praised on far-right messaging boards. All
right, so she just going on about, hey, I don't like what he said and yada, yada. It's anti this and anti that. Look, this whole gender subject is always a weird one, because it's never been a conversation about someone wanting to, like, what they always say, deny your existence or their existence. And therefore, that means that you, I guess, want them unalived or something, which is insane to think. I've never quite understood it, because it's like, okay, 2 things can be true. I can say that nobody should use aggression upon you. If you chose to chop off your genitals because you felt you were someone else, that you have the right to do it. You don't have the right to do that to children. Let's make that very clear. But if you are a grown adult and that's something that you choose to do, you have your own agency. And as ill-advised as I might think that it may be, you are free to do that, okay? However, if other folks do not want to engage in your delusion they're not, or they feel like the promotion of it is a fundamental problem. See, they conflate that with then it meaning that I guess you want them, again, unalive, which is insane. Because ultimately with people like this, they want everything validated. Okay. And the minute that someone doesn't validate their life story or validate what they feel like the world should be, then it is a issue, right? And we're not talking about acts of aggression, but watching this Rachel chick lash out the way that she is, just because everybody's gonna just go along with it and not necessarily like, hey, we're gonna cancel the event because he said all these other things about other folks, and you know, it's a show, right? Trying to promote this event. And instead of people freaking out and clutching pearls, which, you know, that's kind of the point, I guess, to try to incentivize people to do that. But in the same respects, you know, of all things, to be like, yeah, this is what should maybe make this event not happen. It's because he said what he said about a certain ideology. See, man, this is insane. But it does go to show. This is how these guys act. And when they don't get their way, TikTok, do your thing. When they don't get their way, they also don't know how to act. Alpha Core #1's pre-order is live. Written by the legendary Chuck Dixon and penciled by Joe Bennett. Visit Rippaverse.com to grab a copy and any of the merchandise items. Be sure to also check out the animated trailer for the campaign, which is the latest project from Rippaverse Studios. Y'all be easy.